this video, we're going to pay a visit to Mark's patch of paradise, a south-facing tropical style garden absolutely full with bold tropical blooms and gigantic exotic foliage. Mark's tropical style garden is growing in southwest Hertfordshire, just inside of the M25. It's south-facing and pretty sheltered. And as seems to be the case with so many of these garden tour videos, the garden actually started life as a cottage garden. But over the past 10 years, Mark's been adding more and more tropical style plants. From looking at these pictures, you can see that Mark's clearly got an eye for detail and a passion for those bold blooms. I can see hibiscus, lilies, impatiens, gloriosa, cannas. There are just so many flowers in this garden, and it's fantastic because so many of us, including myself, get drawn to these lush green tropical gardens, whereas in fact having bright bold colours can just bring so much joy to a space. And the flowers are great for pollinators, and for me a garden that is rich in wildlife is a garden that I'm going to enjoy sitting in much more. And Mark's obviously not afraid to combine flowers with foliage, and when I asked him what his favourite plants were in the garden, he answered Musa basjoo, which is the hardy banana, for foliage, begonias for both their foliage and flowers, xanthosoma, which are like colocasias, but Mark tells me that they are easier to grow and overwinter, and all impatiens species. Now impatiens are fantastic tropical sub-shrubs that are fast growing and they are absolutely covered in blooms. A favourite of mine is Impatiens auricoma cross bicordata, which is a Madagascan hybrid, and I can see that Mark's growing it in his garden too. Now, with such a lush and thriving garden, you wouldn't be mistaken in thinking that Mark's garden doesn't experience cold in winter. Well, actually, when I asked Mark what the coldest temperature this garden has experienced is, he told me it reached minus 13 degrees Celsius in the Beast from the East. Now, if you're not in the UK, the Beast from the East is one of the harshest winters in recent time here in England. And for us gardeners, we experienced a lot of losses in the plants. And in that time, in that minus 13 degrees, Mark lost one of his tree ferns. And we all know what an investment that could be, so I'm sure we all feel your pain, Mark. Now, with the number of plants and beautiful healthy plants that Mark's growing in his garden, I wondered if there was another dream plant that he was looking to add. And Mark said he's looking to add a Rhus typhina or a stag's horn sumac into the middle part of his garden to add some height. It just goes to show that no matter how beautiful our gardens are, as gardeners we're always looking to tweak or change the space as it evolves over time. So what tips was Mark willing to share from his experiences growing this tropical style garden? Mark's tips are, for anyone considering getting into tropical style gardening, think about the space above your head. Try and cover your fences with plants and save up to buy the larger permanent plants like bananas, tree ferns and fattias, because these will help add the all-important structure. And when you find a plant that you know that you can grow well, grow lots of them. Another tip from Mark is that attics are actually ideal for winter storage. So if you haven't got a greenhouse or you don't have space to overwinter some of your tender plants and you do have an attic, consider using that to store some of your plants that will survive a dormant state. Also, Mark adds that you should rip up the rulebook. You can have whatever you like in your garden, and if it makes you happy, grow it. And in Mark's words, yes, there are roses in his garden. Mark, I have got so much respect for that statement. all of us that look for inspiration in tropical style gardening, and perhaps you, if you're watching this video, are looking for ideas. And sometimes it can come across that there are set rules that you need to follow, and I was a sucker for that mindset when I started. But the more time you spend growing your garden, the more you know that it's your space, just add your plants and what you enjoy, and you will be much happier in your garden. Don't try and grow something that looks just like another person's garden. Add your twist. The garden will be so much better for it. Thank you, Mark, so much for sharing this video with us. And if you've got any ideas or inspiration from the garden, please leave a comment below the video and show your appreciation to Mark for sharing his patch of paradise with us. Now, thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to check out the links to my plant and seed shop, and I will see you all in the next video.